Hey there. How are you? That's excellent. I've got to tell you, I am so excited to see you today. I'm so happy that you allowed us this interview. Oh, don't humble yourself. We are absolutely enthralled to have you. You're all we can talk about, really. Yeah. So I know that we sent some sample interview questions to you before, but I wondered if perhaps you were up for something a little different. Yeah. So what I had in mind possibly is something that might be a little personal, might even be a little invasive. Yeah. But any questions you don't like, you don't have to answer. They're more invasive in that we really want to talk about your personal history, and we really want to get into what makes you tick. Indeed. Yeah, so a lot about your personality, a lot about your history, and whatnot, okay? Yeah, and I mean, maybe a little bit about relationships, primarily familial. Yeah. So I have this absolutely great prompt that I'd like to go over. It may take some time. It's a lot of questions, really. But if you wanted to go ahead, I would be so thrilled to go over that with you. Yeah? You want to do that? Okay, let me see. Oh, there's my tablet. Okay. So, I have my tablet that has all of my prompts on it. Okay? So, I just want to review those a bit. And let's see. Okay. Alright, let me see. You know what? I think I got it switched around is what I did. I think, yeah, so this has the blank form for our interview. This is where our original interview questions was, but I know where the other ones are. Let me see. I think I've got them in my phone here. I do. Okay. Now I remember. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking you these questions from these prompts that I have, and then I will be typing them out, and let me get my keyboard all hooked up to my tablet. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that's excellent. I'm just gonna hook those two together. Okay, that's all clear. Sorry for the disorganization. You know how these things go, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'd like you to just answer as best as you can. If there is a question that is a little too personal or you don't want to answer like really in depth, doesn't matter, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so firstly, would you mind giving me your full name? You want to spell that for me? Okay. Okay, that's excellent. All right. And do you have any reason or meaning behind that name? Anything perhaps like you were named after somebody or it had a specific meaning? Okay. Sure, that's interesting. And what about your last name? Any story behind that? Okay, there's a little bit of history. Okay. All right, good enough. So let's see. Do you have any nicknames, perhaps? Okay. That's cute. Okay, that's great. Where did that come from? Is that a family nickname or any friends, anything like that? Something you might have done? Yeah, that's cute. Alright, let's see what else we got. Okay, so in your own words, how would you describe your physical appearance? What do you think people notice about you when they first meet you? Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. It's a lot of these are very literary based. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Okay, that's wonderful. Alrighty. And how old are you, by the way? You don't need to give me your birth date, but just a general age would be great. Oh, really? Okay. I wouldn't have actually guessed that. Alright. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions regarding like your physical appearance and what your build is like, what your height's like, things like that, okay? Feel free to not answer if you don't want to. Okay, so first, what is your height? Okay, excellent. And what would you describe your body build as? Okay, that's wonderful. All right, and how would you describe the shape of your face? Okay. Yeah, some people know, some people don't. I think it's kind of difficult to ascertain what face shape you have unless somebody tells you. It's one of those things that you can't really, you can try to find out yourself, but it's kind of difficult. Okay. And what is your eye color? Gotcha. Okay. And let's see. Do you wear glasses or contacts? Okay. That's excellent. All right. Let's see. How would you describe your skin tone? Okay. That's wonderful. Let's see. Do you have any distinguishing marks or any predominant features that you think are more noticeable than not? For example, I find myself having, lots of these little freckles, or I have a lot of scars on my face, kind of things like that. I mean, I feel like I have smaller eyes, that kind of deal. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess for me a better distinguishing feature would be that I have the purple under hair and the streak of purple right there. So yeah, I guess it's interesting how we pick up on different things that perhaps other people don't. Right? So some things that we might be a little insecure about that other people don't notice whatsoever. Yeah, that's interesting, because I wouldn't have thought that about you at all. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right. And what type of hair do you have? Do you know? Yeah, like different texture or curl/coil pattern, how your hair typically... What kind of texture it is? Okay. that's great. And how do you usually wear your hair? Okay. Okay, that's excellent. Let's see. How would you describe your voice? How do you think it sounds to other people? I know we tend to have a bias as to what our voice sounds like, and it's not actually quite what it is, right? Especially when we hear it on a recording. Okay. Okay. Can you sing at all? Yeah. It's funny how many people can sing or can carry a tune, at least. I'm not one of those people. Completely tone deaf. My voice cracks all the time. It's awful. That's great. Let's see. Okay. And what is your usual type of fashion? How would you describe what you like to wear on the daily? Okay, that's great. And what's your favorite outfit to wear? Yeah. Okay, that's excellent. Let's see. Do you have any type of jewelry or accessories that you like to wear? Yeah, for example, I believe I've got 8. Do I have 8 piercings? I have 7. I used to have 8 on my ears, and then I have the nose ring, my choker, my necklace, my watch, things like that. Yeah. Okay, that's excellent. So we are moving out of the physical appearance section, and we're going to be moving into the personality section. So we're going to get a little more in-depth and perhaps invasive, all right? I want to reiterate, you do not have to answer a question if you do not want to, okay? So firstly, what would you consider good traits about your particular personality? How would you describe that? Okay? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's excellent. Okay, and what would say are some of your not so great personality traits? I don't want to say bad necessarily, but not great personality traits, right? Okay. Okay. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, that gives me some good answers. I appreciate that. Okay. What kind of mood are you most often in, do you think? Okay. All right, and how would you describe your sense of humor? What are the kinds of things that make you laugh, and what kind of things do you use to make other people laugh? Okay. Alright, I'm much the same way. Yeah. Okay. And what is your greatest joy in life? Yeah, right now, what's your greatest joy in life? Okay? And what would you say is your greatest fear? a little bit of a heavy one, huh? Okay. Alrighty. And this might be a little bit of a difficult one for you, but sometimes it's kind of interesting to think about. What single event would most throw your life into complete turmoil? What event would completely turn your life upside down, do you think? Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to answer that one. That's okay. I know, as I said before, a lot of these questions come from a literary standpoint, so I suppose if you're writing about somebody, then you would want to think about those things. Maybe not so much in your own life, right? Yeah, okay. When are you most at ease? Okay, and what are you most irritated by? Okay, that's an easy one. All right, and are there any particular things that make you feel depressed or sad? Okay, yeah, I get that. All right, what is your biggest priority in your life right now? It's a pretty lofty goal. I quite like that. What would you say your life philosophy is? Excellent. It's very interesting. Okay. If you were granted one wish, what would you like that to be? Okay. Very interesting. All right. Do you have a soft spot for anything? Whether it be a person or anything else? Yeah. Do you think other people notice this particular soft spot about you? That's great. That's great. Thank you. Let's see. What would you say your greatest strength is? Okay. And what about your greatest vulnerability or greatest weakness? Okay, that's great. Let's see. What do you think your biggest regret is? Ah, interesting. And what about any little minor regrets? Okay. Very good. Thank you. Let's see. What would you say your biggest accomplishment is in your life? Okay. And what about a minor accomplishment? Okay, that's great. We're almost done with the personality section, like real close. Let's see. You know what? These questions are a little much. The first one would be a past failure that you would be embarrassed to have people know about. That's a little heavy for asking a real person, as well as your darkest secret. I mean, if you want to answer either of those, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I think those are a little heavy for our type of interview? Okay, yeah, we can move right along. Okay, let's go ahead and just move on to the goal section of our interview. What would you say your drive or motivation is in life? Okay, that's very interesting. And what would you say your immediate goals for your life are right now? And what about your long-term goal? Okay. Okay, very good. Let's see. How do you plan to accomplish your goals? Do you have a plan in mind? Okay. Very cool. So now I want to talk about your past a little bit. What is your hometown? Could either be the town that you were born in, if you stayed there for a while, or whatever place you've stayed in the longest. Okay. Very good. And how would you describe your childhood? You don't have to go into it, but just, a little blurb about it. Okay. Yeah, short and sweet. All right. Did you have any pets when you were growing up? Alrighty. Very good. And what was your first memory? There we go. Very cool. And what was your most important childhood memory? Your most formative one? Very good. Very good, very good. Do you need to take a break at all, or are you doing okay? Alright, I just want to make sure. Alright. And who was your childhood hero? Easy enough, yeah. And what was your dream job when you were a kid? Very cute. I like that. And what kind of education did you get? Right. And did you have any religion when you were brought up? Okay. Good. And how were the finances like when you were a kid? How would you say your family was ranked as far as financial status goes? Okay, cool. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the present time, okay? So as far as the present goes, where are you currently residing? You can even give me just like a general area. Okay, very good. And who do you currently live with? Okay. Great. And let's see, do you have any pets? Okay, very cool. And do you currently practice any sort of religion? Okay. What is your current occupation? I know, we just gotta say for the record. Okay. Very cool. And if you would like to, you can discuss this, but how do you think you are ranked financially speaking in the, sort of lower class, middle class, upper class kind of deal? Okay, interesting. Thank you. And now let's talk about your family. What was your mother's name? Okay. And what kind of relationship did you or do you have with her? Okay. And what about your father? What's his name? Okay. And what kind of relationship did you or do you have with him? Okay. Do you have any siblings at all? All right. And what is your relationship with them? Okay. All right, that's wonderful. Okay. And any children at all? Okay. Alrighty, and any other important family members? People that aren't necessarily even related to you by blood, but who would you consider family? Okay, that's great. And let's see, so we're getting close-ish to the end. There's a few more sections. So these might go a little quicker. They're more based on sort of your favorites and your habits and hobbies and whatnot. Okay, so a little more fun. What is your favorite color? Okay, what about your least favorite color? Very interesting. And what about music? What kind of music do you like to listen to? Okay. And what about food? What's your favorite kind of food? What kind of literature do you like to read, if any? Okay. And what about your favorite form of entertainment? Very good. And let's see. Let's go ahead and go on to your habits. So, do you have any hobbies? What are your hobbies? Okay. Do you play an instrument at all? And if so, what do you play? Very neat. And what about a sport? Do you play any sports? Okay. What would you do on a rainy day? Okay, that sounds very nice. Let's see. Okay, do you do any habits like smoking or drinking or do any drugs at all? No, that one's it's a little personal. Okay, and what do you think you do too much of? And is there anything you think you do too little of? Alrighty. And is there anything you're extremely skilled at? And anything you're extremely unskilled at? That's interesting. And any nervous tics? Yeah, like some people wring their hands, some people scratch or, rub at their face or anything like that. Okay. Yeah, my nervous tic, at least for this moment, is saying that's interesting for anything that I'm just trying to move along, right? Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to take up too much of your time. So, I know you have many things to do. Alright, do you have any mannerisms or peculiarities that you think that other people might notice? And let's see, I'm going to ask you about some of your personality traits, okay? Do you find yourself to be an optimist or a pessimist? Okay, and an introvert or an extrovert? Okay, and a daredevil or cautious? Cautious. Do you find yourself to be more logical or emotional? Okay, are you disorderly and messy or methodical and neat? Okay, and do you prefer working or relaxing? Okay. Do you describe yourself as a confident person, or are you kind of unsure of yourself? Alright, and let's see, are you an animal lover? Alrighty, let's see. So we've got 2 more sections and shouldn't take really too much time, so we're almost done with the interview. How do you feel about yourself? We're gonna ask about some self-perception. Okay. Okay. And what one word would you use to describe yourself? Okay. Let's see. What would you consider your best trait is? Your one best trait? And what would you say your worst trait is? Okay, let's see. How do you think that others perceive you? Okay. And what would you most like to change about yourself? Okay. Lastly, we are going to discuss a little bit about your relationship with other people. So, do you have any opinions on people in general? Some people love people, some people hate people, some people think other people are stupid, that kind of deal. Okay. And do you hide your true opinions and emotions from other people, would you say? Do you have a best friend? Yeah? Okay. Do you have somebody that you go to for advice? Like a one go-to person? Okay. Let's see. Do you have any people that you feel responsible for or that you feel like you need to take care of them? Okay. And are there any people that you feel really shy and awkward around no matter what? Very cool. All right. Is there anybody that you openly admire? And is there anybody that you secretly admire? Okay. Let's see. Who would you say the most important person in your life is? Okay. All right. That, I think, that about does it. It looks like we've got pretty much all the questions, at least the ones that weren't like, really weird or anything. Okay. That looks great. Do you have any other comments at all? Do you have any questions, perhaps? Okay. I know we got really, really extensive in there, didn't we? It was a lot of questions. But you did excellently. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me on all of this. I know it's a lot. Okay. Yeah, let me just go ahead and sign my name off. Okay, that's all good. Just gonna date this. Okay. Save. All right. Let me go ahead and unplug the keyboard, and if you want to look over this real quick on the tablet here, I just want you to make sure that everything that I wrote down is correct, and if it is, if you could just sign with my little stylus here. Yeah, I just want to make sure that, there isn't anything incorrect, and then, I don't want to upset you accidentally and, have your people come after my people kind of deal. Okay? Yeah, there's like 5 pages. I know it's a lot. Okay, yeah, if you could just sign right here. Okay, cool. That is all I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that away. All right, and that's all I need from you. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much for coming here today and giving me this extremely detailed interview. I really appreciate it. I hope that you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you.